It's time to finish this mission. Hey everyone, welcome back to Outside the Box number 50. So I think this calls for a special celebration. Oh, here we have a bottle of Martini and Rossi wine. I saw this at the wine shop a few months back and I just had to pick it up. Obviously it has the jazz motif that we all know and love. And I never knew that there was a wine from this label, Martini and Rossi. I mean, martinis, probably should have guessed, but wine, I didn't know that. And so I had to pick it up, right? I don't know if I'm gonna like this. I usually do like sweeter wines, white wines, and this, it does say sparkling wine, quality aromatic sparkling wine, sweet. Okay, so there's a chance I might like this. I was saving this for a special occasion. How much more special can you get? 50 videos of Outside the Box. Didn't think I'd get this far, and yet I have enough stuff for 10 more videos. I hate to rip up the iconic imagery here. That's nice. I wonder if I could use this as like a decal, huh? That'd be awesome. Oh, this is like a fancy uncorker here. I do hope it doesn't shoot up and break a light or anything. Ah! Smells pretty good. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. A little bit more. All right, that's good. Cheers, if you're of age. Oh, that's actually delightful. Almost like a champagne kind of a wine. Oh, that's good. I'm gonna enjoy this. Okay. All right. And today we have a big episode. The last two of our third-party Constructicons. The Giant Legion boys. I'm almost nervous to get this completed. We've had such success with the first 4 figures that now our expectations are pretty up there. Let's see what we've got here. I was also double checking the price, and what's astonishing is that I think I paid like 90 bucks for every 2-pack. So altogether, about $270 plus tax. I don't know if it ends up being cheaper than the Studio Series Devastator, but it's a pretty damn good price. Now, of course, as of this recording, unfortunately, I think the majority are sold out. They did re-release them in the, what's the dude called, like Tonkatron, in more of that yellowish recolor. And they look great too. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, I like saving these bags too. This was not taped up. I actually appreciate that. And so here we have the Giant Legion boys number 5 and 6. It's funny, it's the dudes that have the tractor treads for their legs. It's almost fitting that they got paired up together. And so we have GLA number 5 Excavator and then GLA number 6 Bulldozer. Wait, I actually don't think they're in the proper order. I think Bulldozer is this guy on the left and Excavator is the guy on the right. Because based on what they transform into, yeah, that's gonna be correct. Still, fantastic package artwork here. I think this is actually a photograph maybe? I don't know if it's like a 3D render. It looks really good, but it's fantastic. And we do again get the chromey letters right here in the box as well. Along the center here, good stuff there. Again, very interesting designs, especially for Bulldozer. He's got sections of the actual Bulldozer for like, I don't know, knee pads or whatever. Just by the look of it, I like how it breaks up the tread look of the legs. Not so much for Excavator though. Still, it doesn't look bad. I like how they're not green or purple. They're like a proper black color, which is definitely what I'm thinking about doing for the repaint, eventual repaint for Devastator. And of course on the back, we get them in their vehicle modes. Some awesome shots there. I think a little bit of a variation as far as Bulldozer, which, okay, I think he is Bonecrusher in G1 Constructicons, right? But the design of the Bulldozer section itself is a little bit different. I like it. I think it looks cool. Nice variation. And then of course Excavator, pretty much the same as what he is in G1. The shape of the vehicle is definitely rectangular, very flat, with like the front section kind of like sticking up, and of course the Excavator itself. I think that's a little bit different too. Still looks nice though. Let's get him out of this box here. Okay. Ready? What? Hang on, hang on. Whoa, what's this? 2 instruction booklets once again. But here we have something a little bit different. What is this? Oh, dude, no way. Oh, dude. Oh, that is freaking awesome. Okay, just a little bit of a spoiler. A nice poster of the combined dude. Wow, that's freaking awesome. Hell yeah. Okay, all right. I don't want to give away too much here. He looks fantastic. We've got him upside down. Once again, really appreciate the packaging. There's something nice about getting a Transformer that's in his vehicle mode. I always like seeing that first and then getting to the bot mode afterwards. I know I can't be the only one, right? It's like the bot mode is a thing you really kind of want to see for most Transformers, I think. Plus, I think it usually helps out with the packaging as well. Since they're usually a little bit more compact in their vehicle modes, you can get them into a bit of a smaller package too. I'm gonna start off with the smaller dude. Let's get Bonecrusher out here. Very nice. Now, one thing about this character for the G1 version, Bonecrusher was the first Constructicon I got. The Studio Series 86 version. First ever. And so I've had some time to mess around with that dude. Right away, like I mentioned before, the shape of this vehicle is definitely a little bit different than what you would expect from a typical G1 Bonecrusher. Now, if this dude was gonna be the arm, you would have to maybe move some things around because it's a little bit wide, wider than what you would expect, but yet I really like the shape of this. I really do. I don't know if it's any more accurate to an actual bulldozer. This is the section that I was saying looks a little bit different than the G1 version, and yet I love this. Yeah, I actually don't know how realistic that's gonna be. The way that it kind of pegs together though, these two sections here. For the middle section, it pegs underneath here, so it doesn't really have any kind of articulation to speak of that I can see. And you try to move it around, it kind of starts unpegging itself. Not the most secure thing. Okay, so the middle section can tilt up, but not together with the side sections. It's at a bit of a different angle, unless there's something that I'm missing here. Yeah, not really. Which, you know what, is totally fine too. And again, I just like how you have a more realistic color for these treads. I know in G1 it was a lot more simplistic for a toyetic look. No, that's totally fine. But this is what I usually prefer myself. This just looks a heck of a lot better. And all of the little intricate designs here on the sides too, just looks freaking fantastic. Very nice tachographs as well. This guy is GLA number 6. The same black and yellow strip that we've seen in other bots as well. Awesome stuff. Some excellently applied silver and reds here in the front. Some gunmetals here in the center. Of course, the same chromy blue windows that we have. I love that. That is good stuff. But as far as like a vehicle, I would never expect it to have any actual working treads. That's just a little bit too much. But zero articulation for the bulldozer itself. A little bit lacking, right? A little bit lacking. So it's just kind of like a brick, pretty much at this point. You can't really do anything with it. And the fact that it doesn't have any like little wheels on the bottom, so you can't really roll this guy. Some people, I know it would bother them, and I get it. For me though, I don't really care about that. In fact, based on where the treads are going to be in bot mode or even in the combined mode, they might get in the way of the look overall. So I kind of prefer them to not have little wheels too. Okay, but just comparing this guy to the rest of the Constructicons, I don't know if it would be like the weakest one, and it's still fantastic in look. Good detailing, good design, good paint, but it doesn't do anything now. When we look at who was it, Long Haul in his vehicle mode, the dump truck also didn't have any articulation as well. So I mean, I can't fault this guy more than Long Haul, right? But maybe because he was so massive, it's just so impressive compared to this guy that's a bit of a smaller size. So it's like the minus of detractor for him, but man, he still looks freaking amazing. Once again, on the bottom, a little bit of a visible head there. That's to be expected, but the back, they have really good backs on these vehicles too. Not necessarily like any tail lights like other vehicles have had, but just the fact that it's something that doesn't look like it would be 100% for the bot mode too. This is just the back of the vehicle, you know? Not bad, not bad. Now we do have weapons here. And of course batteries, but I'm not expecting them to work. I do have the replacements that came in. Oh, interesting. Okay, so these guys, looks like they share the same designed weapon. I'm sure it's going to come into play for the combined Devastator mode. I'm surprised it's just the same weapon. Am I disappointed by that? No, I don't think so. No, that's fine. He does have weapon storage here on the bottom though. There's like this L shape of a peg here on the bottom. And so that's gonna connect, it just comes up on camera, that L shape section right there on the inside. Oh yeah, that fits nice and snug. And if anything, it really just helps to fill in the bottom of this section. Not much to look at though, but at least now there isn't this little hole in the center. So that's cool. And it still lays flat on the table, so that's great. And that's just helped out by the fact that there's articulation here on the weapon. Not bad. Let's get him into bot mode here. And then we just activate the LED. There we go. All right, and here we have our Bonecrusher Constructicon. Yeah, he's looking damn good. Again, part of the bulldozer section for the knees. I love that look. It just helps to break up a bit of the sameness for the tread legs here. That is excellent. And it does complement the articulation for it too. You can kind of move them in the proper angle that they would need to be for when the knees are bent there. That's great. And this transformation again, compared to the others, very impressive. No real hiccups on this guy. Nothing gave me a particularly hard time. And it's not a complicated transformation by any means, but it's not super simple as well. There's a nice sweet spot to it. I could definitely see myself just transforming him back and forth. It's fun enough to do that. We do have the remainder, the middle section of the bulldozer just kind of hanging out the back. I guess you could consider that a little bit of kibble, but it's such a minor thing. Such a minor thing though. I do like how the windowed section of the vehicle mode sits at an angle here on the back. It's a bit of a backpack, but it's cool that it's at that angle though. There's something nice about that. Yeah, it's just a little bit different, you know? These helmet designs do seem to deviate a little bit from G1, which isn't a bad thing, but what sticks out is right on his forehead, he's got like this gold sphere just kind of sticking out there. That's definitely not G1, and I don't know what inspired that, but okay, cool. I'm here for it. The awesome LED eyes. I almost get the impression that the LED effect is a little bit too powerful on other figures, but for this guy, it looks so good. It looks so good, man. It kind of seems to go away when it's at an angle, which I kind of like that. Although maybe it's not ideal though, right? It's probably due to where the LED sits on the inside of the head and the shape of the visor itself too, but it's not bad, man. That's good. That is some good stuff. Again, just the proportions of these guys overall. Nothing really seems weird, you know? God, everything fits so well. Now, unfortunately, as we know, they're not perfect. They do have a little bit of hollowness. Once again, as we've seen on other figures, bottom of the fists, they're a bit hollow. Okay, fine. You don't really see the bottom of the fist too much, but now, unfortunately, also, the inside of the bicep section is also very unsightly in this hollowness. That is something that I think is a bit more unfortunate, and that's what makes it look a heck of a lot more like a Chug figure. You're definitely going to see that quite a bit more when displaying him in the bot mode. But they've still done so much correct, so much that just works for these figures. It's hard to let that extra bit of hollowness ruin it for this figure. I still like him a lot, as I do the others. And you do want to get yourself a nice set of Decepticon stickers or some nice dry rub decals. He has the perfect spot for it right here in the front. I think I'm going to do that eventually too. Yeah, these figures, again, as I mentioned before, I wouldn't customize them myself. One thing that I'm most likely going to do in my eventual Studio Series 86 Devastator repaint is to give it like a nice weathered look, as I do with most bots, right? But the Constructicons, because they're construction vehicles, I kind of want to muddy them up a little bit. And I don't know if that's something that maybe I would do for these guys, just to take away all that gleam and shininess from them too. These guys are hard workers, and so I would like to them to show that a bit. But man, what a fantastic figure. Good stuff here. Let's celebrate with a nice sip here. Oh, that's good. Okay, we're gonna put him right here. And let's take a look at the final Constructicon here. This guy's definitely longer here. Takes up almost the entire width of the box. Huh. Does anything need to be modified a little bit for vehicle mode, or is he pretty much ready out of the box? No, that's kind of it. He does also have weapon storage. He's got that same L-peg section on the inside here. Oh, this one doesn't want to fit in here. I think we have to move some stuff around. Looks like you want to give him some room and detach some things. There we go. And that plugs in there. And then we can just recombine them back to vehicle mode. Perfect, okay. And again, nothing super duper special. It does do a perfect job of filling in the little bit of gappiness that we have in the bottom. And again, it's not something I usually care about for vehicle mode. You're not really going to be seeing them from down there, but it's cool to have that option. This overall shape though, it does kind of, I don't know, it sticks out as a little bit odd. This flat rectangular shape. I'm not a construction vehicle aficionado by any means. I don't know if there's an actual excavator vehicle in this shape. Maybe there is, but it sticks out to me. It's definitely different from the G1 version, that's for sure. I think on this one, it does pretty much just look like it's a bunch of various robot sections that don't look like anything specific from bot mode, but probably not for the construction vehicle itself. I think if anything, the sides work a little bit better, where you have, once again, the black and yellow striping here on the side. Nice little tampograph, if you can see that there. The word caution, that's a nice little touch. And some various silvers and gunmetals here as well. Of course, chromey blue for the windows. I like how the excavator itself is like a silver color. That's a nice deviation from G1, I like that. Along with the black and yellow striping on here as well, that works for me. And also the paintwork on this section on the arm, some nice silvers and gunmetals for this piston molding right here, as well as the ones here on the back. That just adds a little bit of realism to it. I like that. And the silvering on the inside of it too. That's cool. That's the kind of stuff that I would probably recreate for the Studio Series version. Again, this dude I don't have for Studio Series just yet, so I don't know if it has like similar molding on him, but if he does, I may just paint it in a similar fashion. And the articulation is perfectly passable. Definitely a lot more than the previous bot, you know. It does what it needs to do. On this one, even though it's like less realistic, I do like how it has the purple here on the side. Again, that's something that just helps to break up all of the neon green for it. On G1, it's pretty much the entirety of the treads that are purple, and that's what makes it look a little bit more toyetic, which I would change myself. So I like how it has this black for the treads, and then it keeps the purple on the inside. That's good. That is good stuff. Of course, again, no actual little wheels on the bottom. It doesn't do any rolling action whatsoever. Totally fine for me. Doesn't need to do that. But yeah, I think maybe the only deterrence is just the shape of this body itself. A flat rectangle. There's just a lot of flatness going on here, you know, and it kind of sticks out to me. Minor thing, but it's something that's noticeable. But that's really it. That is really it. The design itself though, the molded details, everything else really makes up for it though. God, I really do like these. Man, these are so good. Okay, bot mode for this guy. Cheers. Once again, hey, there we go. But we have this Constructicon in his beautiful bot mode. I always did think that the legs using the entirety of the treads, there's something, yeah, that's a little bit clever, but doesn't it look a little bit silly though? I know it's not just me that thinks that, just a little bit silly. Like just thinking about it from a realistic standpoint, how it's gonna work to have treads covering your legs. Like what's the mechanic on the knees gonna be like? You know, obviously it's not meant to be realistic, but it always does kind of stick out to me as just being a little bit of a funny look. Not the sturdiest of hip joints. Not super loose, but still, gotta be careful with it. It's a nice design overall though. One thing I noticed, this transformation, it was almost identical to Bonecrusher. I don't know if in G1 it was the same transformation, and I don't have this guy's version for Studio Series just yet, although he might be in one of these boxes. But yeah, that transformation was like identical. Identical. Some minor variations here and there. And you know what? It's not a bad thing. In G1, they're both the arms. And so, yeah, you would imagine that they're probably a little bit the same. I'm guessing that's going to be the case for the aerial bots, probably, right? That's a little prediction of mine. But yeah, it does what it needs to. And I guess because it has a lack of a bulldozer, you know, shoveling section, there's no knee pads on this guy. I don't know if they could have figured out something to get this scavenger section to break up and become these. That would have been just a little bit too much. It would have been too complex at that point. So it just kind of curls up onto the back. And I like what it's doing. Yeah, it's just kind of sufficiently getting out of the way. That's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. It does just make a little bit of a backpack along with the same cab section for the vehicle here sticking out. And of course, they do both have some nice ample heels to alleviate that so they can properly stand. There was no issues whatsoever in this guy to stand. They both stand up fine. So that's not a problem whatsoever. One thing I forgot to mention with Bonecrusher, which now we can talk about here on this guy, the same hollowness, right? The bottom of the fists, which unfortunately because he's silver, you can definitely see how hollow it is. And also on the inside of the bicep section, same hollow section. Part that looks a little bit weird to me, which you can kind of say it's a little bit hollow, is on the back of the forearms. The way that it transforms, the fist sections kind of fold out, just like so, and then this section folds back to cover it up. But the angle at which it's covering it, let me get closer here, is kind of weird. It's not like a straight up and down covering. It's at a bit of an angle, which isn't bad, but then it does leave a little bit of a hole there underneath the elbow section, which you can see underneath it. So not the most elegant solution, but again, you know, for whatever reason, whatever these things do that isn't perfect, it still doesn't take away from just how beautiful of a bot mode this is. The design of it, the paintwork, the detailing, that head sculpt, excellent stuff. And yeah, the same nice LED effect for that visor as well. What's interesting though, it's got a little bit of a light on the side of his helmet. It very much reminds me of, what's the Autobot's name from IDW? Is it Rewind? That cassette from the IDW comic. He had the same thing. It was like a camera for him. He'd like to record everything. And that's definitely what that reminds me of. I think it would have been cool if that was also like in a clear red plastic to have a light effect there as well. I'm pretty sure I would have caught it. I'm not sure why they didn't do it. I guess it would have been a little bit more of a molding issue to get that in there. It's so weird. It's so weird though. It's just like red paint on top of black, so it doesn't even look all that bright to begin with. It's a little bit hidden there. Kind of an odd choice. I wonder if I can just drill that in, put a little thin piece of plastic in there, maybe create our own red lighting effect. Again, I would not customize these in any form other than maybe weather them up. Give them that nice dirty look like they've just been constructing all day. A minor thing from the detailing though, and Bonecrusher has this as well, on the ab section, on the sides here, that little detailing very much reminds me of something that Megatron has. It's like one of the Constructicons had on their forearms those triangles and lines that Optimus had, which is kind of weird. And now I'm seeing a little bit of Megatron on these guys. And again, Bonecrusher has that as well. It's very identical detailing there. It's not the exact same. Well, it is kind of the exact same, but the front grille section itself is a little bit different. Wow, it's so weird. It's so weird. Can we see this? Put your arms down, guys. Look at the grille section on this guy, how it's more complete gunmetal look, and on Bonecrusher, it's got a little bit more green to it. So they changed it a little bit, but then if they're gonna do that, why didn't they just change the whole thing? Like make them both completely different. That's the only different on these guys, you know, they kind of half-assed it. But again, doesn't ruin the look for me though. These guys look great. Now, I've mentioned the proportions before, how they look lovely on Bonecrusher, and they do look great on this guy, but because of the tread look for the legs, do they not look just like a little bit tad on the long side? I think they do. I think they do, just a little bit, but not so much where it looks weird, right? This is still a fantastic looking bot mode. And one thing I'm noticing now that I'm partly bending the knee, let me bend it further. Oh, buddy. Oh my God, okay. This guy just saved his entire look for me. Look at that knee bend. Look at the detailing that gets revealed on the inside. Yes, it's more treads, but man, oh, that just looks so good. That looks so good, dude. Oh my God. How are they doing this? I mean, I know it's exposed on the inside, but that is like a deep bend. And then when you get it back straight, look how it just elegantly gets hidden back into the leg. That is awesome. Now, the only small critique on it, and I'm sure you noticed this, is that the paintwork on that inside knee section that gets exposed, it's a glossy paint, whereas the tread itself is not a flat black, it's like maybe like a semi-gloss. So there's a difference in look. If that was like the same kind of flat semi-gloss black look, it would be perfect. It would be perfect. And then maybe even to take it a step further on the side section of the knee, you can even maybe make that purple to match with the inside of a leg. Same thing with like on the other side. That would make it blend 100%. Okay, maybe that I would like to repaint. But you know what though? I think that's die cast. And that's why it looks so shiny. So okay, I can forgive it. The design itself is just blowing me away here. That is so good, man. Oh God. Yeah, these guys are definitely winning me over. If it's not clear enough, obviously no Transformer is perfect that I have seen so far, but these guys get really close. The design aesthetic, the detailing, the paintwork, the complexity of the transformations, just how smooth they are, the LED light work, the articulation, a lot of it comes together for some beautiful bots. But now it's time for the final transformation. And this is the part that I think I've been the most worried about. Let's combine them into Devastator. But first, oh, that is really good. That is really good. Since these guys are the legs, we're gonna start off with them. And I am gonna go ahead and turn off their LED visors. And I'm guessing it's gonna be an identical transformation for these dudes. One piece down. Good to go here. Feels solid too. That is a good sign. Okay, that is two. Same solid feel here. Ooh. We should continue on then with the torso. I think that makes sense to me. Okay, I think we have the torso and crotch section in one piece, and it's already looking impressive. Ooh, buddy, boy. Okay, that's one leg attached. It's definitely a little bit finicky at this point. There's a couple of sections that have to combine in unison, some sections in the front, some sections on the sides. Just gotta work it in there though, it's not super complicated. Okay, this guy's heavy. We have the legs attached. Everything is looking good so far. This deserves a sip. Maybe it's not good to drink so much wine when you're putting together a combiner. It's okay. Who's next? All right, it's gonna be Hook, who is the top part of the torso, chest, and the head area. So he's pretty important. What are you asking me to do now? I don't see it. I don't see the connection here. Oh, Okay, so halfway into the instructions, it's talking about connecting to the rest of Devastator. I guess before we're done transforming Hook himself. That's interesting, okay. The instructions do not make that clear. Okay. We have this completed. Oh, just need a second here. In fact, let's do this. So next up we have the leader, Scrapper. Oh, okay. All right. We are getting there. One more. Oh, holy shit. Oh my God. Okay. This calls for a celebration. Wow. He looks impressive. No question about that. Now, I've never owned many combiners in my life. I think the first full one that I have is Legacy Menasor. And it's an entirely different system of combination, right? It's got the whole skeletal thing going on. It's not overly complicated, except for Motor Master himself. He's the most involved transformation, but the others are more or less in vehicle mode and they snap on to become the limbs. And we're in the process of putting together Studio Series 86 Devastator. I've actually put together off camera the torso and the arm, which is basically all that I have. I'm missing 3. And I think it's safe to say that it's never maybe like a super smooth process to put a combiner together. Oh, I also do have the core class Volcanicus, which even at that smaller scale, there's quite a bit going on there. And he's more or less successful, right? I'm waiting on a third-party accessory kit to actually complete him. But something that's like masterpiece scale, never. I've seen videos and photos of that train. Oh, I don't even know what it's called, for the masterpiece that came out a while ago. And man, that thing had some critiques. The combined mode looks really rough. The proportions, just maybe handling that dude, let alone even trying to pose him. I have no plans to get that. So it can be kind of a mixed bag for a combined mode, right? Which is, I think, why a lot of the newer ones, for Studio Series anyways, or for the main line, are going for the skeletal system. Something that'll really give us a combined mode that looks like what it looked like in G1, or something that's a lot more posable, put together, a full figure in itself. Obviously, the Constructicons are a whole nother beast, so they're not doing that. But, you know, they're accomplishing that look. For this dude, the individual bots were amazing. Transformations weren't too difficult. Sculpting and detailing and articulation was phenomenal. But of course, in the combined mode, getting him together was a challenge. And the instructions do their job up to a point. Again, I kind of get the feeling like they might be missing or bypassing a few steps. So it's a matter of paying attention to what you're doing. The most tricky part was putting the top torso on top of the bottom torso, getting those connected. There's like 6 different connection points you have to keep an eye on. A little bit tricky in getting the legs connected as well, but not overly complicated. It's definitely doable. I don't consider myself to be an expert. And what you get here, he looks amazing. He looks freaking amazing. Oh my God. Again, just looking at the swapped out limbs, we have Mixmaster, what used to be his bottom left leg, and Scrapper, same thing. They work perfectly as the arms. Now, I think Scrapper is very similar to Bonecrusher, I guess, as far as the vehicle mode. He still has like this scooping digger section up here. That's very similar, which maybe is why they swapped or changed the model of how it looks like for Bonecrusher. But the way that we have now this digger section for this leg here in the front. It looks great, and I am super impressed with the fact that we're not adding anything to this combine mode. Everything was within the bots themselves. The front purple wing chest section was so exquisitely hidden within the bot, and now it's displayed in its full glory. And again, let me pick him up here. He's not overly cumbersome to hold, but you gotta be careful. This dude, I don't know how many pounds he weighs, but you could definitely get a good workout out of him. He still has the blank section to put your own little Decepticon logo. I think it's kind of small though. I think I would have liked to have a Decepticon emblem that's larger. I think it is larger on Studio Series 86 Devastator, which I like, but it's cool that we have that blank section there. And again, I talk about the proportions of these figures. This guy just looks fantastic as a unified bot. Also, when I talk about him not adding anything to him, again, we saw the fists beforehand that were so geniusly hidden within the bots. I gotta talk about the feet. I'm not used to seeing Devastator with feet that look like they come from different combiners, whereas they just add a feet section to them. What's going on here is that these, let me see if I can get you a better view here. These side sections are the individual feet of the bot itself, but it's adding this central section to now give us a big ass three-toed foot for Devastator, and it freaking works. It really does work. I do respect the fact that G1 Devastator doesn't add that to him, and it's got, you know, that scrapper section for one foot and the cab of, who is it, Mixmaster for the others. I like that look. I like how it's different. But now to have this design and to have like these big ass feet just hidden within the individual bots, God, that is so good. That is so good. And the treads, how they make up just the rest of the foot here on the back. Oh man, I am loving this. I am loving this. Hey, remember when I said that Long Haul had the crotch on his chest? Yes, he does. And now it's in full display here, of course. We have the full crotch here for Devastator. You know what? I gotta... Oh man, I have to give props to that. I have to give props to that. Oh, I love this so much. I gotta talk about the weapons here. Hang on a second. I didn't realize that you end up combining all of the weapons to now make a big freaking gun for Devastator, and it looks just so good together. God, that is amazing. Now, this section here ended up being the back of the gun for the individual section, so there's no actual barrel hole in here, but they just look so good that I can definitely forgive it. That's not bad. That is good. I thought it was gonna have like a gun for himself, but yeah, we never got that. It has a nice look to it. Blends of blacks, silvers, gunmetals, bit of purple. It's a good look overall. Very nice, very nice. Let's go ahead and have him hold it, which I gotta talk about these hands too. They are super articulated. As you might guess, you're gonna use these little pegs on the sides of the handle to peg into the palm of the fist. Woo, buddy. Careful where you point that thing, bro. And of course, with that, he holds it very well. Let me give you a good view of that here. That is so good. So good. And he holds it up. He holds it up really well. All of the joints, all of the pivotal joints for Devastator, the shoulders, the elbows, the hips, the knees, they are strong enough to keep a pose. Now, I wouldn't shake the hell out of this guy, not on a combiner, but this dude keeps his form. I'm just noticing now though, I'm just noticing now, I probably should have rotated that head to not be sticking out there in combine mode. Can I rotate it now? No, that's okay. I'll leave it the way it is, that's fine. Also, on the head, I love this little mechanic. Of course, we have his LED lights turned on, which just turned off for some reason. Did we get close to a magnet? They might just be a little bit finicky. I'm gonna try to do it on camera if I can. But you have a couple of different choices for the Devastator head mode. Of course, we do have the LED lights kicking in. Not overly bright. I think it's perfect the way it looks. But you can lift up the forehead. And we've seen this before in other Transformers. Flip out a nice visor, close it back down. And now I think we have what is a much more traditional G1 Devastator look with a full visor. And I still like how it's just pretty much the eyes that are glowing underneath. I may have preferred a more unified light up feature for the visor, but because of that mechanic, it's the eyes that have the LEDs behind them. And that's totally great. If you were to turn off the lights, you would just pretty much see the eyes glowing underneath the visor itself. I dig that though, that's cool. It's cool to have that choice. There's another mechanic that I like. We saw a little bit of it in the first part here. Hook section on his back. You can flip it forward, and we saw the little visor that it has. Here, I'll go ahead and show you. This little section you can flip out. Becomes kind of like a little visor for some kind of a bazooka. And that's not all. The front section opens up that little bazooka barrel section, and that's a cool little touch. That's actually pretty awesome. I think I would love to see that implemented into a Studio Series 86 version. Or you can even flip it out further and just to have a better angle. That's how it actually looks right there. That's the actual look of the barrel. That's freaking awesome. Come on. Oh my God. Such an ingenious idea, man. But this guy, fully put together, is, I think, safe to say, just a marvel of engineering. Getting to the combine mode, it might not be the most intuitive thing. Definitely not how it was with the individual bots. Those transformations were very elegant and intelligent in what they were doing and moving pieces around to give us really good vehicle mode to a really good bot mode. But as is expected, the complexity got ratcheted up a notch for the combine mode. There's no way around that. It's gonna take a little bit more doing to get to this awesome looking Devastator. But you know what? It is totally worth it. I mean, I think it goes without saying that this is going to be how I'm going to be displaying it myself. I said in the beginning that I wasn't even sure if I was going to end up keeping this guy. As with third-party figures, they tend to be kind of hit and miss for me, but this guy has been so amazing to transform and just to fiddle with that I don't think there's any way that I can get rid of him. I think he's here to stay. And the timing couldn't be more unfortunate now that we're about to complete our Studio Series 86 version. He's got competition for sure, but he's got a leg up with the eventual custom repaint too though. Man, I just can't stop marveling at this guy. And it's not the wine talking, I don't think it is, but he is an absolute beast of a Transformer. If you have any kind of a chance of getting him, I do recommend it. I do recommend it 100%. I don't know what he's going for in the aftermarket. I hope it's not something overly crazy. Hopefully the availability is there. But yeah, if you have any chance of getting him, or even the repainted version, the Tonkatron, that one looks fantastic as well. I recommend it. I recommend it. I probably won't be separating him into his individual bots anytime soon. This is just too glorious to behold here. But man, what a way to finish off 50 outside the box videos. Never thought we'd be here, that's for sure. This is gonna be the last one for a while anyways. I'm actually gonna officially start on the next custom. We're gonna be back on the road towards our Menasor at long last, and I can't wait to start. I had a ton of fun putting this guy together, and hopefully you had fun watching. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all very much. If you would like to support this channel, all the links are down below. But until then, do yourself a favor. Keep on customizing. Have fun doing it. I know I'm about to myself. And hopefully I'll see you all pretty soon. Take care, everyone.